According to Forbes, there are 2,153 billionaires in the world out of the 7.8 billion people on this planet Earth. It is a tiny, tiny percentage of the population. There are a lot of people, they have a lot of jealousy and resentment towards billionaires. Some have admirations towards billionaires. When I hear people, they say, I want to be a billionaire, or I see it on social media, and say, oh, I'm going to be a billionaire. I don't think most people have the slightest clue of what it takes to be a billionaire. You got to understand, we're not talking about being the 1 out of 100 or 1 in 1,000. Not even 1 in 10,000, not even 1 in 100,000. You've heard of the saying, 1 in a million. Well, being a billionaire is not even 1 in a million. It's 1 in a few million. You have to be that good and that exceptional. Now, here's a visual representation. Here's what $10,000 looks like. A small little pile. And here's what $100,000 looks like. Not even that big of a pile. Here's what $1 million in cash looks like. Now you might think $1 million, such a big number that it would fill this entire room with cash. That's not true. Actually, $1 million, it could fit in a large backpack. And here's $100 million, what it looks like. And here is what $1 billion looks like. Now, as you can see, it is a huge amount of money, more money than most people could imagine. Disclaimer, I'm not a billionaire, but I've had the privilege of interviewing quite a few billionaires on my podcast, The Dan Lok Show. And I've had the fortune of being mentored by some of them. And what I'm about to share with you today, these are simply my observations, notes that I've jotted down in my little notebook. I've got a whole notebook of them, especially the way that they think and their billionaire mindset. And today I'm going to share 3 findings with you from my little notebook. And you don't have to buy any of these ideas. It's okay to disagree. I'm simply sharing with you what has worked for me and in my own business and in my own career. Everyone has an opinion of billionaires, but most of those people have never made more than $40K a year in their life, and chances are they've never even talked to a billionaire. Billionaire mindset number 1, money is not their biggest motivator. They don't do it for the money. Maybe in the beginning they did, but later on, think about it. If your goal simply is to live a comfortable life, a luxurious life, after a while, it's very easy to lose motivation. They don't do it for the money. After a while, they do it for something else. They do it to win, they do it to make a difference, or they do it to disrupt an industry, or they do it simply because they could. In fact, I would say that is the key difference between a millionaire versus a billionaire. A millionaire, once you reach a certain stage of success, once you are comfortable, it's easy to get complacent, right? Just like my mentor said, default is a bitch. When you are more successful than the people around you, like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to work so hard anymore, right? Think about it. If you are already living in the house that you want, you're already driving the car that you want, you're already taking the vacation that you want, you're staying in the best hotels, you've got a comfortable life. If all your motivation is based on just things, well, you lose motivation real quick. From my observation to billionaires, money is simply a way for them to keep score. Not because they are greedy, because they enjoy what they're doing and they are good at it. And that's why they get paid a lot of money doing what they do. You see poor people say, well, you know what? If I have that kind of money, I would never work another day in my life. Well, with that kind of mentality, chances are that's why you'll never have that kind of money. Because you are motivated just by money itself. Steve Jobs said it best. I was worth $1 million when I was 23. I was worth $10 million when I was 24. And I was worth $100 million when I was 25. But they're not that important anyway. I never did it for the money. Billionaire mindset number 2. Billionaires understand people. From my observation, billionaires, they have exceptional people skills. Now, some of them are great communicators. They are great public speakers. Some of them are world-class negotiators or closers. They could get deals done. They could close deals. They know how to negotiate with the banks. Now, having good people skills doesn't mean that they want to be liked all the time. In fact, most of them, they're not that nice. They are tough. They're tough because they have been screwed over. They have been taken advantage of. They have been sued, right? They have been backstabbed. They have a lot of scar tissues, right? They have a lot of heat, right? There are a lot of people wanting something from them. So they have thick skin. And almost without exception, they all have world-class leadership skills. They know how to lead people. They understand people. They know how to motivate people. They know how to put a team together. They understand that it takes people to get stuff done. You need to know how to get people together, work together as a team and not working against each other. And that is tough. I also noticed they are willing to invest time in developing key relationships. And most of them are very generous and they are willing to help people. As long as you are sincere, that you don't have a victim, loser, entitlement mentality, that you're like a blood-sucking leech, that you want something from them. As long as you are sincere, they are willing to help. I'll tell you a quick story. Through a mutual friend in introduction, he introduced me to one of the most successful, one of the wealthiest men in my city in Vancouver, and I got his phone number. I called him up and I said I was introduced by a friend and I just want to seek his advice and I wonder if I can buy him lunch. And immediately I called him in the morning. He said, sure, let's do lunch. He said, I got some time. Why don't you come to my hotel? Because he owns one of those hotels in Vancouver. He said, come to my hotel and I will see you in my lobby just at lunchtime. I said, great. So I dressed up, I drove there, and I saw him in the lobby and he greeted me and he was very, very nice. And then he said, well, why don't we just eat at my restaurant? And because he owns that restaurant as well at the bottom floor of the hotel. So we went in and he was greeted by everyone. You could see the people, the guests, a lot of people know him. They're saying, hi, how's it going? He was shaking hands with everybody, right? Very welcoming. And we sat down and we had lunch and I was asking him, I was taking notes of what advice he would give me. And by the end of that lunch, I said, okay, great. I pulled out my credit card because I wanted to treat him. And he said, no, don't worry about it. You are eating in my restaurant. I'm not gonna let you pay at my restaurant. You know, maybe next time. As a young guy, I got nothing to offer to him. There's nothing that he needs or wants from me. Not only he gives me his precious time, give me advice, but also bought me lunch. It's incredible. Billionaire mindset number 3. Billionaire, they see things that other people don't. He's a piece of land. Poor people, they would see just a pile of dirt, right? Some might see a garden. Middle class would see a house that they could live in. A millionaire might see a fourplex that they could build. But a billionaire could see a skyscraper, maybe with commercial real estate at the bottom part and then condos at the top. They would see they could build a train station here. Maybe they could also acquire that property next door. They see things completely different. They have a mindset, what I call resourceful without resources. They are very, very creative. When they cannot do something or someone tells that they cannot accomplish that, they will always find a way. They have a very compelling vision, have a lot of clarity of what they want to accomplish. And because they have that compelling vision, it's very easy for them to attract the right people and say, hey, I want to help you to accomplish that vision. Because billionaires, they know how to paint that picture and they know how to craft that vivid vision that if you could help him to get what he wants, that you will get what you want as well. So it is a win-win. They know how to mobilize a team. They know how to motivate people. They know how to solve problems. They know how to make connections. So they have some exceptional skills and they think long-term. They think very, very strategically. That's one of the things that I have learned. Alibaba has a business plan for 102 years. They are planning to be around for 102 years. And I noticed when I listen to my billionaire mentors, they're talking about a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, a 15-year plan, a 20-year plan. They have this long-term vision and they are willing to wait. They are patient. And because they think long-term, they could put themselves in positions to capitalize on certain opportunities versus other people with shiny object syndrome or short-sighted. And one more thing that I noticed maybe is a bonus mindset tip, and that is they don't think about niches. They don't think about a small market. Chances are almost all of them, they either think nationally, how to dominate an industry in a whole country, or they think globally, how they dominate an industry globally, not just locally. They don't believe in small niches. They don't believe in small categories. They want to be the leader in a global industry. They think big. That's why they are very, very competitive, right? They want to win big. And that's why in order to win big, they need that 10, 20, 30-year plan, and they're willing to pay the price and work towards that. And those are some of my observations of the mindset of a billionaire. If you want me to share more of those observations with you from my little notebook, comment below and let me know. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button if this is the first time you are visiting our channel and watching our video.